Before we dive in, it's crucial to note that this video is for informational purposes only. We're here to shed light on the complex world of narcissistic personality disorder, but remember, we're not doctors. Mental health is a serious issue, and if you or someone you know is struggling, it's vital to reach out to a mental health professional. They have the skills and knowledge to provide the help that's needed. Remember, there's no substitute for professional advice when it comes to mental health. Ever wondered why some people seem so full of themselves that they barely notice others? Well, it's not just a case of a swollen ego or an inflated sense of self-importance. What we're about to delve into is a complex psychological phenomenon known as Narcissistic Personality Disorder, or NPD for short. It's a fascinating, if not somewhat puzzling, aspect of human behavior. And no, it's not about that one friend who spends a bit too much time in front of the mirror. It's much more than that. We're talking about a personality disorder that affects how individuals perceive themselves and how they interact with the world around them. Throughout this video, we'll be peeling back the layers, examining the many facets of NPD and shedding light on its intricacies. So, fasten your seatbelts, folks. It's going to be an enlightening ride. So, stick around as we unravel the enigma that is narcissistic personality disorder. Narcissistic Personality Disorder, or NPD, isn't just about taking one too many selfies. You see, NPD is a mental condition characterized by a grandiose sense of self-importance, a constant need for excessive attention and admiration, troubled relationships, and a lack of empathy for others. But beneath this mask of ultra-confidence lies a fragile self-esteem, vulnerable to the slightest criticism. Common misconceptions? Well, not everyone who's confident or self-absorbed has NPD. It's not about just loving the reflection in the mirror, it's about a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, a need for admiration, and often a complete disregard for others' feelings. People with NPD can be quite charming and charismatic, which can make it difficult to spot. They may also be highly ambitious and successful, since they're usually driven by a need to achieve the best and believe they're destined to do so. But it's not as black and white as it seems, as we'll explore next. Spotting a narcissist isn't like spotting a unicorn, it's more subtle. Narcissistic Personality Disorder, or NPD, manifests in a variety of ways. You might notice a grandiose sense of self-importance. This isn't your everyday confidence, it's an exaggerated sense of one's own abilities and achievements. Then there's the preoccupation with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love. Sounds like a fairy tale, right? But for someone with NPD, this is their reality. Another sign is a strong sense of entitlement. They expect favorable treatment and automatic compliance with their expectations. This might be coupled with a tendency to take advantage of others to achieve their own ends. Lastly, there's a lack of empathy. They're unwilling to recognize or identify with the feelings and needs of others. It's a one-man show, and they're the star. But remember, we're all a bit narcissistic sometimes. It's when it's persistent and detrimental that it becomes a problem. Narcissism isn't a one-size-fits-all label. It's more like a spectrum. Imagine a rainbow, except instead of different colors, we have varying degrees of narcissism. At one end, we have healthy narcissism. Yes, you heard it right. A pinch of narcissism can be good. It's what fuels our self-esteem, ambition, and drive for achievement. Then, we move towards the middle of the spectrum, where things get a bit murky. Here we find people who might be a tad too self-centered, but not quite harmful. They might hog conversations or crave attention, but they are not out to intentionally harm others. As we slide further towards the other end of the spectrum, we encounter malignant narcissists. These individuals are manipulative, lack empathy, and can cause significant distress to those around them. So it's crucial to remember that narcissism isn't just about extreme self-love, it's a sliding scale of behaviors and attitudes. So, you see, not all narcissists are created equal. Think of narcissists like peacocks. They're not all the same. Picture this. You're at a party and there's this guy, let's call him John. John is always the life of the party, telling grand tales about his exploits, always making sure he's the center of attention. That's your classic grandiose narcissist. Now, imagine a co-worker. We'll name her Jane. Jane is seemingly shy and reserved, yet she constantly seeks validation and reassurance, subtly steering every conversation towards herself. That's a covert narcissist for you. Or consider an online friend, let's say Mike. Mike is constantly posting about his achievements, craving likes and shares, using social media as his stage. That's a communal narcissist. So, you see, narcissists come in different shades, each with their unique patterns of behavior. Just like peacocks, they can be equally fascinating and frustrating. Ever felt like you're talking to a wall when dealing with a narcissist? Now, let's delve into how Narcissistic Personality Disorder, or NPD, can impact relationships, both personal and professional. Picture yourself in a room with a giant mirror, where the person you're trying to connect with only sees their own reflection. That's what it's like being in a relationship with a narcissist. They're engrossed in their own world, leaving little room for anyone else. It's not about you, it's about them, always. In the professional realm, this could manifest as a boss who takes credit for your work, or a colleague who always needs to be the center of attention. In personal relationships, it could mean a partner who belittles you, or a friend who always turns the conversation back to themselves. NPD can cast a long shadow, making relationships feel draining and one-sided. It's like being in a one-sided conversation with a mirror. So how do you play chess with a pigeon? That's what dealing with a narcissist can feel like. Imagine trying to outwit an opponent who's perpetually knocking over the pieces, strutting around the board, and claiming victory at every turn. It's maddening, isn't it? But just like dealing with a chess-playing pigeon, the key to coping with a narcissist is not to outmaneuver them, but to maintain your own sanity. The first strategy is setting boundaries. Draw a line in the sand and stick to it. This might mean limiting contact or deciding what topics are off-limits. The point is to protect your mental and emotional health. Next, practice self-care. This sounds like a trendy buzzword, but it's crucial. Make time for activities that nourish your soul and recharge your emotional batteries. Finally, remember, you can't change a narcissist, but you can control your reactions to them. Remember, it's not about winning the game, but playing it in a way that preserves your peace. But what if you're the pigeon, or suspect you might be? If you're relating to the narcissistic traits we've discussed, don't panic. It's a brave step to recognize these patterns within yourself. This is where professional help comes in. Therapists and counselors are equipped to guide you through understanding and managing these tendencies. Remember, it's not about slapping on a label, but about fostering self-awareness and personal growth. You're not alone in this journey. It's not about labeling, it's about understanding and growth. Narcissists often wear a mask, but it's not always for a fancy ball. This mask is a metaphorical one, concealing their true self behind a facade of charm, confidence, and charisma. It's a strategic play, allowing them to attract and manipulate others. Yet, this mask is also a shield, protecting their fragile ego from the harsh realities of imperfection and criticism. The narcissistic mask is complex, layered, and ever-changing. But remember, everyone wears a mask now and then. In the age of selfies and social media, narcissism seems to be on the rise, or is it? It's easy to assume that a flood of selfies equals narcissism. But hold on, studies suggest that social media usage does not necessarily indicate a narcissistic personality. It's more about how it's used. Is it for connection or validation? It's key to remember that everyone's online behavior doesn't define their entire personality. So don't worry, your selfie habit doesn't make you a narcissist. From Sherlock Holmes to Tony Stark, narcissists have been stealing the show. These characters charm us with their wit and confidence, making us overlook their self-absorption. But why? Perhaps it's because they mirror society's obsession with success and individualism. Or maybe their exaggerated traits simply make for compelling drama. Regardless, these characters shed light on how we perceive and react to narcissism. They remind us that behind the charisma and bravado often lies a deep-seated insecurity, but remember, real life isn't like the movies. If you're finding this video helpful, consider subscribing to our channel. It's a simple click, but it means the world to us. Like this video if it's been insightful, and share the knowledge. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our upcoming videos. Feeling trapped in a narcissist's web can be tough, but there's always a way out. Start with self-care. Nourishing your body, mind and spirit is vital. Seek support, be it from friends, family or professional counselors. It's okay to create boundaries, to say no, to distance yourself. You might feel guilt or fear, but remember, these feelings are not your truth. Facing them is part of the journey towards liberation. Remember, it's not selfish to put your mental health first. So, we've journeyed into the world of narcissism, and it's quite a ride, isn't it? We've explored the depths of narcissistic personality disorder, from spotting the signs to understanding its spectrum. We've delved into real-life examples and the impact on relationships. We've also touched on coping strategies and seeking help. This complex disorder is more than just a narcissistic mask, as it intertwines with our social media culture and pop culture. Remember, understanding is the first step towards compassion and change. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of narcissism. Your time and curiosity are much appreciated. Don't forget to share this information with others. It could be a lifeline. Until next time, remember, everyone has a story, and every story matters.
Savored this video? Fancy another? Click the on-screen video for an even deeper dive into fresh territory. Your support is like a warm cuppa on a brisk day. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, ring that bell for the latest content. Cheers for watching.